Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka Two Guys No Lies,
aka offset more hiccups from the glum, feeble clown, and get your tickets for live Dumb People Town, Mike Huddleston, aka Huddletron, aka Huddlestein, aka Old Zealand, the aka guy. He got his tickets for the live Dumb People Town on 12/12. Easy to remember, 6:30 p.m. West Coast time, 9:30 Eastern, 7:30 Mountain. Get your tickets. It's going to be live Dumb People Town. It's your office Christmas party that you get to go to with us.
The Dollop, the boys from the Dollop, one of the best
Dollop
podcasts
People
out there.
Town, Dave Anthony, Gareth Reynolds, and then music by the amazing, the incomparable Mac Lethal. I cannot wait to hear his theme
He's an
song.
incredible rapper who will do his own version of, he's an artist, a rap artist, as it were.
And he will do it.
his version of our theme song along with some
We got
originals.
posters and we got T-shirts we'll be selling for to charities. So you'll be
To raise money for charity.
charities. So you'll be able to do a nice thing with it as well. Let's just jump. Eventbrite.com. Look up Live Dumb People Town. Let's jump into the story, shall we?
All right.
Guess what is still happening in the pandemic? I don't know if you guys know this. Ponzi schemes.
Hey, there you go.
Ponzi schemes did not take a break, Jay. You thought that maybe they'd sort of scale themselves back, but they're still there.
Yeah, well, I think I think people are a little scared about their money, and so that if someone comes by and offers them an
They're
opportunity,
susceptible to being scammed in
Yes.
this day and age. And I
Yes.
get it. I gave some random dude my bank information and my social security number on a phone call because he said there was, and I've talked about this on this show, he said there was a car at the Mexican-Texas border, at the Tex-Mex border, with blood in it and drugs, and it was associated with my social security number. I was like, what? Now, I lost my mind and I wound up giving him this stuff, and then I had to backtrack, and I wasn't ready for the scam that was perpetrated on me, and I'm looking for this stuff.
Yeah.
I was on a field trip with my daughter. She was inside
Yeah.
with her sixth grade class at the time, and I was outside. Now, I wasn't ready in that moment. Cut to a year or two later after I got so mad about that scam, and we were in Portland
Yes.
on our friend's podcast. Remember we were doing that, and one of the two hosts got a call on her computer during the recording of the podcast. She didn't recognize the number. We're like, answer it. It was one of these scams, very similar scam. So we're like, please let us do
We'll
it.
take it.
And we
went scorched earth on him.
Well, what we did was we
lured
drew
them
him
in. We drew him in.
by
Tell
saying,
us more about this thing.
What's wrong? What's going on? What's wrong? And we kept on asking questions, and we got really nervous and really scared. And then just when he was like in and thought he was going to get all the information,
started turning it.
and we started to freak out so much. We started really freaking out. And the guy was like, he didn't know what to do with how hard we were freaking out. And we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then once he realized, we're like, before we give you our number, we just have to tell you, you've been on a podcast. We've been recording you. We know what your number is. We know where you are. You are in such deep trouble. You are in such deep trouble. If I were you, I would watch wherever I look, wherever I walked. And it was so much fun. So I get it though right now. People are getting scammed, and they could be scammed.
And also, scams come and nail people in a moment of desperation. And I think a lot of people right now are desperate, and that
They're
makes
still
sense.
scamming away. And so it's fun when one of them gets caught. Doesn't that feel kind of cathartic when someone who is running a scam
Yeah,
gets
when a
caught?
catfisher gets caught, you
Feels
feel
good. They
Feels
live
good.
in such altered realities all day long that they probably start to believe their own bullshit. It's very
They're like, am I
similar.
really doing a bad thing? Yes, you are. You are actually doing a really bad thing, so it's good when you get caught.
As was the case with this guy in the first story, and here we go. A man wanted for his role in an alleged $35 million Ponzi scheme. Now, I know that's not Bernie Madoff style. He was in the billions.
$35 million is still
It's
a lot of
still
money.
a huge scheme. Was arrested on Monday after evading FBI agents by swimming in California's largest reservoir using an underwater sea scooter. And
What is going on?
What is this, Johnny Quest, for Christ's
An
sake?
underwater? Get Haji in here?
He thinks he's James Bond, or that the FBI will hang around for 3 minutes, see that he went underwater, and be like,
Oh, well, he's dead.
let's go. You wanna
Underwater scooter.
You want to go grab lunch? Or he's just gone. There's nothing we can do. Underwater scooter. We're the FBI. We don't have the underwater scooter technology of this Ponzi scheme
See,
artist.
that's some Ponzi scheme thinking right
That
there.
is Ponzi scheme.
You just show them the first thing and then hope that they don't ask any more
Do
questions.
you need to escape the FBI? A lot of people do on a regular basis.
Give us $500, enlist 5 other people to each give $500. We'll give you a portion of that, and we'll send you an underground scooter.
Sea scooter.
An
underwater
under the sea scooter.
Right. right. Federal prosecutors said Matthew Percy spent about 25 minutes in frigid Lake Shasta, like he was on an episode of Alone. I'm now in season 3, guys, of Alone.
God.
Using the Yamaha 350 Li product placement, submersible device before he eventually resurfaced and was, of course, handcuffed.
So that's a great moment when he's been down there and then
He's like, they're gone. They're definitely gone. I'm freezing my nuts off.
Slowly
and then,
resurfaces to them wait. Because for them to wait around
25 minutes is not a line. These guys
hard.
who have been on stakeouts, right?
They're scrolling through the Facebook page. They're maybe making a few calls. They're warming up with a cup of Joe. They're waiting for you.
When agents went to arrest Percy, initially, before he went all underwater, he hopped in his pickup and led them on a chase that ended at the shoreline of this Lake Shasta, north of Redding.
Redding, right.
Yeah, feds are here. Time to lead them on a
So
chase.
this is California, Northern California.
Yeah, time to lead them on a chase. Why not add to the mounting charges against you evading arrest?
I'm surprised he didn't try to get more people involved in his illegal chase.
That feels like the Ponzi scheme thing to do, right?
Like you let them chase you for the first 3 miles and let's divide
you go it alone. Doesn't feel like the thing that you're going to get 5 people to run interference and then get 5 other people to run interference for those 5 people. And then suddenly you got 25 people running interference for you.
That's how it works.
Ponzi scheme way to do.
Pyramid.
Then Piercy abandoned his truck near the edge of Lake Shasta, pulled something out of it.
What?
His dignity?
I guess. Underwater scooter.
This is, dare I say, even a dumber idea than the Ponzi scheme that he thought he was going to pull off without the feds coming in to bust his ass.
And like the Ponzi scheme ran, there was only one logical ending to this choice.
Yep. He going to get caught.
Gonna get got.
Percy then swam into Lake Shasta, federal prosecutors wrote in court documents, calling Percy.
Did he swim in or did he ride in on this thing?
He swam in and then he set up the scooter and he went underneath.
Okay, there you go.
They said he's a flight risk. You think? I mean, most people, even dumbass Roger Stone, didn't try and run from the feds. Although Stone would have hopped on one of those giant bicycles with the giant front wheel and the tiny back wheel, like in it with a bowler hat. The way he dresses, like he looks like Gargamel's brother in the Smurfs, and he's only brought in to make Gargamel seem
likable.
Yeah. Piercy spent some time out of sight underwater where law enforcement could only see bubbles. Yeah, they're waiting, arms folded, like
guns drawn. It's not hard for them to stand there
for 25
minutes. It's not
minutes.
like you're asking them to go in the water and wait for you outside the water. They're in the warm place.
Piercy probably felt what it must have been like for all the people he duped in the Ponzi scheme when they realized that they had been duped.
So they once they make the realization, they figure, okay, now
I know what's going to happen to him. All my stuff is going to go, and my freedom is going to go as well.
Nowhere to hide.
Agents later learned that Piercy had a sea scooter, a motorized device that pulls users underwater at speeds of about, you ready for this? 4 miles per hour. Is that fast?
That's James Bond stuff right there.
Let me tell you something. If you were to
4 miles an hour is fast, I guess, if you're underwater.
Maybe, but like, let's say I were to start driving a boat and you hooked up water skis behind it and I went 4 miles an hour. There's no way you could water ski if I went 4 miles an hour.
4 miles an hour is about how fast we walk.
Yeah, that is.
It's a 15-minute mile.
The Yamaha tutorial video describes the quote sea scooter as having underwater propulsion that allows users to cruise at depths of 100 feet below the surface, which I don't know if that's good for your ears. I'm assuming this thing takes people down further than they're supposed to
should.
Go. You're gonna bust
and
your
just
ear
riding along the bottom, the ocean floor,
with the ability to outrun several agents who are chasing a person who's at the center of a Ponzi scheme, which I believe they said that on the video. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Attorney Josh Kahns.
His name is Khan.
Kons has clients who are alleged victims. No, he's got the victims.
He's the good guy.
So he was hoping that the guy would have drowned so that the estate could get divided amongst his clients.
Sure,
So, you never know what's going through someone's mind when they're being pursued by the FBI. I think I do.
They want to get away, and they want to get away with the nonsense that they've already perpetrated.
Can't get caught, can't get caught, can't get caught. That's
pretty much what's going through his mind.
And we kept investigating, and all of a sudden today, he's trying to escape into a lake using a submersible device.
Escaping via lake, that's not a good option unless it's Lake Michigan or Lake Superior.
Yeah, it's got to be a big enough lake that
you can come out somewhere else where people don't know where you are.
Last week, grand jury indicted Piercy and his business partner Kenneth Winton, 67, Oroville, in the Sacramento Bee reported. It wasn't immediately known if the 44-year-old has an attorney. So indictments are handed down.
This guy's screwed.
He's
44 years old. He's like 5 years younger than us.
Right. So he only had one option, Jay, to outrun the feds and try and escape in Lake Shasta using a submersible device.
That was his only choice. That's all he could have done.
That was logical at this point. Piercy is accused of bilking investors into giving $35 million to his company's family wealth legacy. That doesn't sound real.
No.
If someone says invest in family wealth, listen to the line of bullshit I'm going to read to you right now. Family wealth legacy and Zola. Zola sounds like a drug that you take for hepatitis and explosive diarrhea.
Yes.
Promising
and like depression.
Promising guaranteed returns using an upvesting fund. Just the word upvesting makes me want to punch someone in the larynx.
I hate them.
Anytime you hear an algorithmic trading fund with a history of success, algorithmic trading fund run in the opposite direction.
Get away.
Piercy allegedly admitted privately to an associate that there was no upvesting fund. So so this is why he's such an asshole, right?
Right, because he admitted it to someone else, and he's straight up taking people's money.
And he's taking pleasure in it's not
He's
just that
enjoying lying.
it's right. It's
He's
not just that
enjoying
he
the lie.
took the money. It's that he's got to brag to an associate that there is no upvesting fund. I screwed these idiots.
And at this point, people are, granted, I don't know who the clientele is, and maybe it's a drop in the well for some people what they put in, but
still,
I'm guessing there was probably some people who put like their hard-earned life savings in with this guy.
It's not even about the money that he's getting. He just likes to screw people. He's like Michael Jordan trying to take a quarter from his security guards in the flipping the quarter game. That is what is. All right, so this is what makes all these people particularly abhorrent, and this is why FBI agents will wait all day for this guy to come out of the water. 25 minutes is that's a drop in the well. Piercy originally recruited Winton as an investor, but Winton eventually took on management responsibilities at Zola.
In other words, translation, he threatened to tell people what was up.
So he initially tried to screw this guy, and Winton got wise to it. He's 67 years old, and then he's like, well, do you want to run this
I'm going to blow the whistle, and he's like, you want to run it for me?
You want to run Zola? And then, boom, he's now a part of it. That is it. Don't you think that's what it was?
That is its own form of pyramid.
They used some investor money for various businesses and personal expenses, including 2 residential properties and a houseboat. Few, if any, liquid assets remain to repay investors and prosecutors. A houseboat? A houseboat is your insurance to get. That's your
This is where I live as I'm getting away.
That's right.
I live in the place that I'm getting away.
People who own houseboats are one knock on the door away from never being seen by
sailing away,
right?
Yeah, sailing away from society.
Living life on a houseboat is a drunk person's getaway car.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Piercy faces charges including wire fraud, mail fraud, money laundering, witness tampering. Again, this is the type of guy Bernie Madoff would call an asshole. His arraignment is Tuesday. Winton, who had been charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, has initial court appearance on Thursday. He's going to flip on you.
Yeah, he's going to flip you.
Winton is going to flip. If convicted, both Winton and Piercy, the new Rizzoli Isles, face 20 years in prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines. And
I hope they go for a long time.
They should be allowed, and this is what I think. Anybody who invested money with them that's gone should be allowed to punch each of them in the face once.
As hard as they can.
As hard as you can. You get to run at them, you get one. They're held down, you get one punch in their face. Is that right?
One punch and then you get your money back.
And you get your money back.
Both.
So Winton's about to throw Piercy under the underwater bus, so to speak, as we know.
And just don't forget, Winton got duped by Piercy. So
Winton has the files. He's an eyewitness on the highest level. He's on the inside. That was your problem, Piercy. You got screwed.
This guy has a chance to cut off some time on his jail sentence, so he's going to put it on you, bro.
That's it. That's how pyramids. When the pyramid, when the top of the pyramid starts falling off, it all crumbles. And the Egyptians know that better than anybody else. That is our first story down in the books. When we come back, we've got a wildlife story of a turkey that's terrorizing people and the crazy ass thing that one wildlife expert did to take it down. This is Clubber Country, the Virus Edition. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Got to remind you, we got a YouTube page, Sklar Bro Country. Subscribe to it.
Yeah.
It's very easy and it's a great way to support us.
See
Watch
old
some
episodes of Cheap Seats and Dumb People Town. It's
We're
really
trying to
fun.
dig up some old back on tops. We're trying to find some really fun things to put on there. So, and there's a lot of good stand up and things like that. So, get on that. And then also our Facebook page, Sklar Brothers, the Sklar Brothers Facebook page, which is just, follow that, like that.
Yeah, we're putting videos up that we hope you guys will
Trying to
check
give
out.
you as much content as we can. And speaking of, we got more content right now. Let's hit
Okay,
it.
so there are people who know a ton about wildlife,
Yes.
all right? And those are the people who win the show alone. I'm sorry, I'm watching too much alone. And then there are those who call themselves wildlife experts. You know those people.
And
Those
do
are
they
the-
really know?
Those are the people who tap out after being like 3 days out in the wilderness, and they're like, I didn't realize I'd be alone with my thoughts. It's called alone. That's what it is. A self-proclaimed wilderness expert is going to do some crazy things, like camp out in his backyard for a year.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Or try to free solo corporate McDonald's to get McMuffins for life, Egg McMuffins.
Or McNuggets for life. For
Or
that matter.
dress up like an old lady to catch a turkey that's been terrorizing a town. This is what wildlife experts are going to do.
Dress up like an old lady to catch a turkey that's been terrorizing a town.
And let's go to the story.
Let's get into it.
Now, we must warn you that this story comes from the New York Post, so get ready for some shitty puns.
And terrible reporting.
Here
Hallmarks of the New York Post.
we go. Now, you don't want this bird at your Thanksgiving table. Oh my God. Shut up, New York Post.
Shut the hell up.
We knew this was going to happen, and yet we're still angry every time. Why do we get duped by the
Even
New
when
York
you
Post?
see it coming, you want to curb whoever was the writer.
Yeah, punch the dumb post in the printing press. All right, a notoriously foul turkey.
Okay. Shut up.
You got to stop right now. Already in the first two sentences, spent months attacking people in the Bay Area.
Attacking people.
Again, this is inexcusable. There should be a label put on the top of New York Post saying, "We are not journalism."
Yeah, this is a joke.
This is
uh,
while we look and
just
feel,
like Rudy Giuliani's not really a lawyer.
Yeah,
This
well,
is not really a paper.
we are the Rudy Giuliani of
newspapers.
periodicals.
Yes.
Before
We're a joke.
Before the turkey was finally captured last week by a wildlife expert posing as an elderly woman behind a counter in a small town. What? No. Again, wildlife
Homelessness.
All right. Again,
in
an otherwise empty room, young girl, violence, center of our own attention. Anyway, a wildlife expert by whose standards? Who's saying that? Yeah. The turkey, nicknamed Gerald, was a belligerent bird, ruffled the feathers.
Have we talked about this turkey before? I
No.
feel like we have. Okay.
Ruffled the feathers of Oakland
Shut up.
residents for about 5 months. Nicknamed. So the turkey has another name. That's the turkey's real name.
But we're going to go with Gerald, the name of the elephant from the Piggy and Elephant books.
Okay, so
from Mo Willems.
that's what he responded to.
Right.
Was Jared. So how does a wild turkey have a nickname? Okay, there are people who are hustling other people in pool halls and have been doing so for a long time, and they're just named Mike and Jeff.
They don't have nicknames.
They do not. How does this turkey have a nickname?
And it's not even a good nickname. Gerald, that's just a name.
I think you meant to say that the turkey's unofficial name is Gerald.
That's how
what-
bad of a reporting job the New York Post has done.
Or that people called it Gerald. We don't even know what the turkey's name is. Which
Jerry or Jer.
Well, Jerry or Jer or Gonzo or the Jermeister 2000, those are nicknames.
Gerald is a person's name.
And
That's all it is.
And the turkey doesn't respond to it. Obviously, no one's like, "Hey, Gerald, cool down." And the turkey does not cool down. It's attacking people in the Bay Area. Yeah. So, New York Post, this is the way you should have written this portion of your article. Okay, you should have done this. A wild turkey that some are calling, quote, Gerald, has been terrorizing the Oakland area for months.
Not one pun in there.
How difficult was that?
That wasn't a hard thing for us to write.
How did I even get through it without writing a pun? The turkey has been pouncing. Listen to what the turkey's been doing. This is insane, Jay. The turkey has been pouncing on visitors in the neighborhood's Morecambe Rose Garden. That's crazy.
You go there to visit the Rose Garden.
And boom, turkey attack. Consider it Thanksgiving reparations.
I mean, we've been taking it to the turkeys for decades, centuries. There you go.
Payback is a bitch. Officials were forced to close the park in June out of concern for public safety. They had to close the park.
Close the park, an outdoor space, one of the few things we can go to these days.
Shut things down to solve a problem out of concern for public safety. They did it without complaining either. Could that be an example for something else that we can be doing?
Yeah, we're going to take care of this problem and then we'll reopen the park again.
If only people treated the coronavirus like like this part of Oakland is treating this wild turkey, then maybe it's
they took it seriously.
The coronavirus is like a wild turkey that's attacking all of us.
Yes, we can get rid of it and then get on with our lives.
Oakland Animal Services said it had received dozens of complaints about the aggressive gobbler. I swear to God, New York Post, you are the worst, whose favorite target seemed to be older women. Aggressive gobbler, by the way, could be any of a number of handles on a current Grindr account.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, aggressive gobbler.
This turkey has it out for old ladies, OG Karens, right? So this is like we're figuring out who would call.
It's got a turkey fetish.
That's right,
old lady fetish.
One small gobble for my flock, one giant gobble for mankind.
One little nibble for mankind.
Residents described the turkey charging at them, jumping on them, and clawing and pecking incessantly as they try to run away. That is terrifying.
Yes, because the turkey's not little. The turkey's like a big ass bird.
By the way, when a turkey charges you for the first 10 seconds, you're like, "What's he doing?"
Yeah.
You're not like, he's not coming at me.
No. And then you're like, he's not going to make contact with me.
and then it's too late. Like you can't put
And
distance.
if you're old, you don't know how to reach out and grab its neck and strangle it.
You don't. You should. The second you see a turkey start to make a move towards you, run as fast as you can the opposite direction. People don't know what to do with turkeys. Mm-hmm. They're only used to seeing them with mashed potatoes and gravy on the side, maybe a little cranberry sauce.
Yes.
Gerald was finally caught last Thursday by Rebecca Dimitrick.
What if it was a turducken? What if it was a turkey and then out of the turkey springs
a duck
that
and then it starts kicking your ass?
And a chicken.
Director of Wildlife Emergency Services who disguised herself as a frail elderly woman. I mean, how did she do that? She kind of Uncle Drew'd it. You know what I mean?
Well, but like they're like, how realistic do we have to make this? Do we have to do makeup?
Make her frail. She needs a makeup. She needs
to
a
start
cane.
speaking to lure this thing out.
This must have been a phenomenal strategy session. I'll just wear a tracksuit.
No, you got to go to Chico's. You got to shop like an old lady.
The turkey will know.
You got to give your daughter the business for not emailing you enough.
That's right. The turkey will know. You got to speak. You got to yell all your texts into your phone.
You got to tell your sons that you don't like it when they have beards because it reminds them that makes you think of them as too old.
Yeah. This is Gerald we're talking about, for Christ's sakes. He knows an old lady versus a young woman trying to portray an old lady. You better be on point.
You got to argue politics with
people.
You
need to shop at Chico's. The turkey will be confused if you're wearing a leopard print caftan and some chunky jewelry.
That's it.
You can't. The chunky jewelry is key. When Joe predictably charged her, Dimitrick said she scruffed the turkey. I mean, out of thin air.
Grabbing him by the neck. That's what I said. Grab him by the neck.
In a way that doesn't hurt the bird. Oh, snap. Take that, you wild turkey. Turkey was probably like, what in the actual fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, I thought this was an old lady I could take down.
He was then released into the wild near Orinda,
where he will soon be hunted, slaughtered, and then served at Whole Foods.
Right.
Wild turkeys
couldn't drag me away. It would be cool, though, if certain animals just went after specific swaths of the population.
Yes, I think that would be very
Parrots only nosedive into hipsters in Brooklyn, right?
Yes.
Squirrels go after anyone with a QAnon shirt. That would be amazing.
Unbelievable.
They understand what the Q stands for.
Like if a horse only horses just kick the shit out of child molesters.
How great would that be?
One
just
horse,
know.
that's what he knew.
Give the animals the ability to identify one segment of the population to go after, and then I'd be cool with that, right?
Yes.
Breeding animals that go after parts of the population that deserve a good attack.
Agreed.
I feel like that would...
Pigeons just take a shit on people who won't wear masks.
I could get on board with this.
I would be on board with that.
I could get on board with this, and you could too. And that is a show, you guys. We are back into another week. It is Thanksgiving week. We are thankful for all of you guys. Certainly thankful for everybody who watches this show and listen to this show. Stay connected, stay protected. Don't get infected. Wear a mask, guys. You don't need a big Thanksgiving celebration this year. Do it on Zoom.
Do it with your close family, and Zoom with all kinds of other people, and you can make it special that way.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.